Hi guys, I'm Livy with Daisy Chain Principles. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. Today I wanted to chat about our summer homeschool plans. I know that in the videos I have watched that I love so much here on YouTube about homeschool summer plans, a lot of parents talk about how they don't want learning to end during the summer, and so they continue on with usually a smaller amount, a certain amount of homeschooling. And I have a little bit different of an approach. I believe that learning doesn't end even when you're having as much fun as you can. So I wanted to dive into the details of that a little bit today. So we have a lot of what I consider like summer traditions. It's just ways that we enjoy summer to the fullest. We are not year-round homeschoolers. We do kind of loosely close to the traditional school year, except we take the smaller breaks when we need them as opposed to necessarily doing them on holidays. There's a lot of smaller holidays that we still homeschool, but maybe we'll take, a vacation in the middle of September and count that as one of our breaks. But our main big break is summer break, which we do almost completely on par with our local public school system. I see a lot of influencers that still require a lot of bookwork during the summer, and we do still read and do a little bit of homeschooling in the summer, which I'll get into just so they don't totally regress. However, I am just such a believer in summer break and indulging in it, and that is one of the big joys of childhood. And it took me a long time to come to this conclusion, but now I'm pretty much dedicated that this is the traditional way we do it. And so my approach is not that we have fun in the summer and so we don't learn. My approach is we have as much fun as we can and we notice the learning within that. So a couple of our traditions, the first one is Vacation Bible School. My kids love VBS. Our church does it, and we live in a town where several churches do it. And my friend Amber convinced me, if you're watching this, Amber, to do as many as we could this year, which we've never done before, but the kids are actually attending like 4 or 5 different VBSs. They are all either free or very low cost. It's people just giving of their time and their energy to teach my kids about Christ, to have fun with them during game time and arts and crafts and activities. And it gives me a couple of focused hours to work on things at home. So that is something we do regularly that I highly recommend. The other thing that is probably my number one priority really through the summertime is keeping my kids in the water. We go to the pool as much as we possibly can. I wish I could say that was every day, but that's just not realistic for us. We go to the pool probably an average of 2 or 3 days a week for a couple of hours. And one, it's getting outside, it's enjoying the sunshine, it's helping them to grow up in a way that they experience being outdoors as something positive. I count it as PE class because it is physical exercise, and it's also a huge life skill to be a strong swimmer. So yes, we do also try to do swim lessons, but I don't think even swim lessons can replace just being in the water really, really frequently. Also, we focus on swimming in the summer as opposed to any other physical activity we could be doing. And I love hiking. I love horseback riding. I love bike riding, but not so much when it's very humid and 85 degrees outside. But the pool is still fun even on the hottest days through the hottest months. So that is why, of all the physical exercise we could be doing, those are my reasons why I lean into swimming so hard. So that is our biggest priority through summer break. And then, as I had briefly mentioned, we do still do just a little bit of school kind of wherever the kids are lacking most from the previous year. We do just a few minutes of it every morning. So we still have read aloud time before then though. So we will go over emergency information, making sure that the kids know phone numbers, addresses, what they would say or do in certain situations. We still go over that pretty much every day. And then instead of doing our normal read aloud material, which I covered in a previous video, right now we are just reading, I'm reading one book with each of the kids, one that is more like personalized to them, their interest and their grade level, like what they could comprehend and enjoy as I read to them. Strictly fiction, no lesson involved in it, just as a way to keep them reading so they're growing in grammar. Also just associating books with joy. Again, that is a big reason why I have all the priorities I do with my kids is, do they remember joy in church, joy in reading, joy in being outdoors? Because if not, then that might be the first thing they want to get away from when they're older. I'll go ahead and show you the 2 books I've been reading to them individually. With Daisy, my 7-year-old, we've been reading The Rescue Princesses. Now, I did not do any kind of research on this book or find it. Something I do, and you can see some of these like younger chapter books behind me, but something I did 2 years in a row was I found sellers on eBay who would take like old library books or books from schools or wherever that they were just trying to purge, and they would sell like dozens and like 100 books, I think is how many was in a box, just for like $23 just to get it out. So like I didn't have a lot of money for books, but I wanted lots of books around my kids growing up. So I ordered a couple of those boxes, and my daughter just found this one in there. She picked it out, and it's really cute. It's about a team of princesses that go on rescue missions to help people. And this particular one is about rescuing a baby lion. So we're really enjoying that. And then for Silas, The Magician's Nephew from the Chronicles of Narnia, the first book in the Chronicles of Narnia. So this has a bit of a backstory because I wanted to read the Chronicles of Narnia to both my kids as family read aloud every day through the summer. However, Daisy just wasn't enjoying it. There's some old English terms in here that don't mean anything to her, and she couldn't follow or enjoy the storyline authentically. So I didn't want to push it. Whereas Silas was like on the edge of his seat, always wanted to read the next chapter, had to know what happens. It's funny, side note, because he loves books when it's the right book for him, even though he is like all boy, like always wants to either be playing a game on a video game or a game outside with friends. But he definitely, everything he loves and enjoys revolves around games. So I feel like he is solid evidence that if you find the right book, anyone can love to read. So this has become just a me and him thing. I have read this series probably 3 or 4 times in my life, but I remember very little of it, to be honest, from when I was a kid. Other than that, I really liked it. So seeing how well this is written as an adult, it's just been so cool. So highly recommend, thoroughly enjoying this. And then the one assignment each of my kids get through the summer, starting with my oldest, Silas, he has to do 20 minutes in his math book. He is pretty like behind in where I had hoped he would leave off in his math book. Too much to just not do any of it through this summer. So he just has to, as part of his morning chores, along with brushing his teeth, along with making his bed, along with cleaning his room, along with all the things he has to do in the morning, he also has to do, just set a timer for 20 minutes, do as much of his math book as he can, and then I do corrections and review it and make sure he did everything correctly. He doesn't need necessarily to do any other subjects that I'm concerned about. So that's all for him. And then for my daughter, it's the opposite. She is still learning to read, and we're getting to the point now where I'm like, okay, you have to learn to read. Like, you're going to be 8 years old this year. So she is required to do 15 minutes a day of reading eggs, which is, you've probably heard of it, but if you haven't, it is truly a remarkable app that is all game-based to help kids learn to read. And so occasionally she needs my help with it, but not very much. And it's really affordable. I think the plan right now that I pay for is like $10 a month, and it includes math seeds. So sometimes she'll, in her free time, choose to play math games too, which is great for her. So that's just another tool to have in your toolbox that I recommend. Doing summer breaks this way has changed how I see and experience summer so much. I wish that I had done summer breaks like this from the beginning. I am not the biggest fan of summer, at least I wasn't before we started doing this. To me, it's just hot, it makes doing regular things harder because I'm just hot and sticky all the time. And approaching summer in a way where the goal is fun has helped me to love and enjoy the summer months so much more. I love the pool, love getting the sunshine, love how I feel afterward. I've started embracing, grilling dinner outside more frequently, letting my kids run around the neighborhood on their bicycles, going to the playground as the sun sets so that it's not so hot when they're playing. Just kind of going with the flow of the weather and what feels like the most natural, fun thing to be doing that day. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this and that it challenges you to just find joy every day, to go with the flow of what makes the most sense to do and have the most fun and be in the moment most with your kids and with the season. And if you found it enjoyable or beneficial, be sure to like and subscribe because I am posting more now, which is super exciting. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, you'll want to be sure to check out my free video class, Homeschooling Excellent Time Management. I've linked it below, and I'll be giving away the 3 primary ways that I am able to homeschool consistently as a single working parent. It's only 11 minutes long. Be sure to view it. I'll see you next time.